Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. This is our off-air podcast that we do 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can find it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts, and listen to our other podcasts as we go into the holidays. As you're traveling, road tripping, check out Miguel and Holly Uncensored, Miguel and Holly Full Show podcast.
Queen City Confessions.
Yeah, Queen City Confessions soon to come. Am I the A-hole? Or no, we have that. Shoot Your Shot. That's the one that's on the soon to come. You can listen to all of those and spread the word. Put it on your Instagram. Tell people. Be like, hey, girl, you looking for something to listen to? Listen to these crazy ass people. Come on, honey.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the new people, by the way.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for being in the Platypus Posse. That's what we call you when you listen to the podcast. Platypus Posse. We also have a Facebook group that you can join. It's called Miguel and Holly Fam/Platypus Posse. So we got to give a shout out to Spin Master Games, who reached out and said, hey, I know you all play Would You Rather on your podcast, and y'all complain about Holly complains about the Would You Rather options. So we have a whole game of it.
You're out here playing Squid Game, Would You Rather. You're like asking the nastiest, most tragic questions of all time.
Hold on. It's not me. It is the radio consultants prep site that I get it from.
Can you name check? Who is it?
Tracy Johnson.
Tracy Johnson is coming up with those questions.
I mean, I don't think he's sitting in his house being like, would you rather have a animal lick your booty hole or something else? I highly doubt he's.
Next time I ever see Tracy Johnson, I'm going to be like, hey, oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you. Good to catch up. Listen, what's going on with those questions?
Right. Right. So we're going to be playing a little game of Would You Rather.
But like legit style from an actual game maker.
Game company. Yes. Spin Master Games that we'll get to. Real quick, I wanted to start the podcast off with I was going to tell y'all off the air and I was like, wait, let me save it for the podcast.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, save it. And I hate that, but I forgot about it, so that's fine.
You said that you were offended?
I was offended.
Oh.
So you know those little like tap in things that you can do on Instagram where it'll be like, show us your chest or show us whatever, your first favorite photo.
Yeah, or yes, exactly. Like show us the last photo you took, no cheating.
So one of the ones that came up recently was show us your first selfie. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, well, let me go through my stuff online or my on my phone and try to find my first selfie.
Okay.
I did. And I posted it. I'm going to share it with you all right here.
Okay.
I'm going to pull it up for those of you that are watching. If you're not watching, I apologize.
Because I then took that sticker from you and I put it on mine. So.
It was the oldest selfie on your phone, right? Or your oldest selfie of all time?
Post the oldest selfie on your phone.
Where else would you possibly get it? I feel like I invented a selfie in like 2004 with a disposable camera. So anyway, okay.
So that was mine from 2012. It's me in a club in St. Petersburg, Florida.
What was that? Sweet Six?
Probably so. I think that may have been the night that they threw a going away party for us as we were headed back to no, I take that back. No, it was just the night out in St. Pete because we were still on Play 98.7. And I had my signature afro back in the day. I have on a black Express shirt. I have on a black infinity scarf, and I put on
a scarf.
Yeah, I didn't notice the scarf, but
you can't really tell. You have to look closely. And then I have a black New York Yankees baseball cap, kind of askew to the side, and I'm giving very much a like, I don't even know, a drunk face. Just like
it was drunk, but the hat wasn't really on your head. You were just like posing with it.
Right.
I thought it was really cute. I was like, oh, that was a good era for Miguel.
Right. I was like, oh, this is funny. Like, I don't look like that anymore. This is funny to share. Then I had several gays slide up in my DMs and be like, oh, who is this Miguel from back in the day? And at first I was like, ha, that was me. Like I was probably like, what, 27, 26 here.
Yeah.
How funny. And then someone was like, ooh, we need to get into a time machine and go back to this Miguel. And I was like, excuse the fuck out of me. What the fuck do I look like right now?
And also, you got zero play back then.
I'm like, this Miguel right here.
None.
Ain't nobody talked to me on any of the apps. I was single as fuck.
You were
like,
lonely. You were desperate.
I look like Shapes, and everyone was like, well, you're so funny. You're so funny. You have such a great personality.
Yes.
I was mad for this Miguel. Like now, girl, I'm fine. I got a husband. I'm fine. But I was just like, you know what? Bleep you. Because like this Miguel was so sad and so lonely and felt so dejected. And like now all of a sudden that Miguel is desirable.
What the fuck? Honestly. And I am pissed for you now because that's so rude. What?
I'm like,
It's
what do I look like now?
I just, once again, home training, right? We talked about this a few podcast episodes ago.
Yes.
Home training. You don't say that someone's old photos are good because you can't just go back in fucking time. You can't just get Botox and look the same way that you did. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
No, it does not. Unless you're like being jokey with like, you know, an old person. I don't know. There's a very, God, I guess people don't really have very good social awareness. It's like there is a very narrow lane when you can joke about someone's old school pictures, and it's probably when like they're an overweight later than middle-aged dad who has really clearly doesn't care anymore, and then like you see a picture of him maybe playing like the community softball league from like 1987. You're like, okay, dad, like that's an acceptable time.
Or like Joe Biden, that one photo of him from like when he was in his 30s, 20s, and he's in his 80s. Clearly, he's like, I am a great grandpa.
Right.
It's fine.
Right. Or like, you ever see that picture of Harrison Ford from the 70s?
Yes.
And like hipsters found it like 5 years ago and they were like, what? This is Harrison Ford? Like, he still looks great now, but he also still looked like hot. Like, that's your lane. You can't do it about just any old person like Miguel.
That was 10 years ago. Like,
but you know, I always get a little insecure too when those Instagram stickers pop up, and sometimes it'll say, show a picture of how you look like in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. And like 2020 was my quote unquote glow up year, right? Where I had lost a shit ton of weight. I was at my peak healthiest. And then I look back at the photos. I'm like, I don't want to post that. Like, I don't want to open up any form of conversation or messages of people being like, wow, you were very skinny back then.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like, I don't need this.
Right. So I don't really participate in those. Not saying that it's right. That anybody messaged you and said that.
Which, I mean, and okay, like, there's one part of me that, like, I was just like, all right, I feel some sort of way about this. But then I'm like, on the all scope of things, like for me, it doesn't matter. Like all the things that I'm gonna be angry about today, like that
you had a lot of things that you were angry about yesterday.
Girl, I've been saying I'm not gonna say what I've been saying behind the scenes. That's not appropriate. I've been aiming at everybody today. Everyone has been in the crosshairs of my spewing of anger today.
Aiming is the perfect word.
Yes. Like that is the bottom of the list. But we were talking about something behind the scenes, and I thought about that yesterday and how I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to say to me right now? Because I honestly think that I look the best I've ever looked in my life when it comes to like just my confidence level, my hair, my face. Like sometimes I get a little frustrated with my gray hairs and my beard, and I'm just like, well, you're 38, bitch. It is what it is.
I love it. I love it. Well, I was just talking about how you're a very different person from when I met you. Yeah. And I love it. I love all the people that you have been, you are, and you will be. I just find your what is it called? Your journey, maybe fascinating, and I love it. And I also love all the looks. Right. I love all the looks. It just represents the different pieces of who you are.
What's your favorite Miguel era?
Ooh, favorite Miguel era.
Like Holly specifically, where was there an era where you were like, man, you're kind of like if you weren't gay.
Oh no. Oh no, we're not even doing
No,
that.
you've
No,
never
we're
even
not.
like thought about it.
No, we're not
Oh.
doing that.
People
We're
are
not doing that.
curious.
Okay, well, the reason we can't do that is because that's like asking which era of your brother you'd like to do. Like that's not. There will never be an era in which I would like to do that. There's
There's
just
a
not.
point where he wasn't your brother.
What, Miguel?
Yeah.
But what's weird is that that's not true. Like,
I mean, we knew immediately.
Yeah.
it's almost like we were reuniting with a long lost sibling, like when we met.
Right.
And that's why I have said multiple times in the past, it's like I'd say my radio soulmate, but it's not necessarily contained to radio. Like Miguel's just one of my soulmates. And so when we met, I was just like, "Ah, there you are."
Right.
Like,
And then
how
that
you
attraction
doing?
switch just never turns back on.
Yes. And I don't say that like, oh, I was never attracted to that.
Right.
Like, that's not the tone in which I say it. I just say, like, I'm not attracted to Miguel because that's not our vibe.
Mhm.
That's such a funny conversation.
Have you ever been attracted to me like that?
No.
No. And
No.
I'm not even really mad about it. Like,
No, but I mean, I have found like moments where just sort of like how as a gay man, like how we uplift, strong women, where there have been moments where I was like, okay, bitch. Yes, honey. Yes.
right.
Like
No,
that.
agreed. Like anytime we've had to, like there were some like fancy things, especially like when we all pull our shit together and I'm so proud and I'm just like, damn, bitch looks fine
Mhm.
in a very non-sexual way,
Right.
but still like one of those blown off balls. Like I think it was when you had the whole red ensemble.
Yes.
Chef's kiss. Your wedding, you looked impeccable. Like just there are definitely times when you shine. There's definitely times when both of us
Girl.
have not
The
shined.
radiothon, I always every picture and video, I'm always like, I have to just say, you know what? It's not about me. It's not about what I look like. It's about the message, the kids, the money raised for the children's hospital. But I don't know what, and maybe it's the angle where Kelvin sits in the Seacrest studios where it just gets just this really awkward angle of my face.
It's the lighting because I don't look good in
No, the
any of
lighting
those
is bad.
pictures.
Yeah.
I don't look good in
And so
any of them.
Every video, I'm always like that night when we get home and I'm looking through it, I'm like, wow, what a damn bitch, you look rough.
That's what I think about myself too. I'm like, why does my face look like it's weird angles?
Right.
I look like a Picasso.
The Mona Lisa.
Yeah, no, not even that. I just look like shapes. Like Miguel says, my face. My face is weird shape. Like I went to the Dali Museum and it's like surrealist art, and my face is like not like the
Half circle.
features
Triangle.
aren't where they're supposed to be. And I'm like, why?
You're like, why do I look like that?
That's what happened. We had a publicity piece done up like about like the amount of money that we raised for the radiothon, and it went to different radio like trade publications. And the first one that I saw, like I was scrolling. I'm like, oh, here's our piece about the radiothon. And I saw the angle of my face and I was like, what?
Oof.
Why do I look like that? Anyway, yeah. So sometimes we don't look so good, but sometimes we looking real good.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
I would say this right here is like when I felt my most confident, and I felt what was the American Horror Story, the witches one, Coven, what they felt their most, what Jessica Lange was at her most powerful,
Her supreme.
Yes, when I felt like the supreme, where I was just like,
oh, I want to see the picture of you
bitch,
at you supreme.
I was like, and I remember looking at myself and being like, take a picture of this moment, because this may be one of the few times in your life where you feel this way, and I don't feel that way very often.
Oh, I'm excited to see which picture it is, and I'll describe it for the folks at home.
And this is when we had been flown out to like LA or Vegas for one of the award shows.
Yeah.
When we worked for a previous company. And I just remember being like, bitch, you look fucking amazing right now. And it was like that morning when I put this outfit together, and I was just like, my arms, my skin, my just everything just felt like it was flowing that day.
The
You do
bulge.
look glowy. Like, look. Okay, I
She
wasn't
got a
even-
meaty tuck.
Ah!
A meaty tuck. Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah, everything
Wow.
was flowing all right. Good Lord.
Maybe we should ask you, Kelvin. Like, when do you find Miguel the most desirable? Because
Well, no, the photo. Come on.
Look, you look right and tight. Like it's
Mhm.
a selfie in a hotel mirror. You got like maroon pants on, everything looking right and tight, your hair looking on point. And I'm telling you, do look like your face is glowing a little bit.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And so I just felt like, to me, that is a moment where I'll be like, if I could get to that again, that would be great. And not even like my body, but just like just everything. And in that moment, I remember that morning getting ready because we were going to go interview a bunch of celebrities before the Billboard Music Awards. And I like felt prepared and rested. And I was just like, I'm about to slay the house down right now. And I just felt
Oops.
ready.
Yeah. No, that's true. I felt that way too at those two events. One was the Billboards and one was the American Music Awards.
Mhm.
Those were good events.
Kelvin, so what's that moment for you?
When I felt at my peak,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. So 2020 was very weird, right? I was able to focus and be on top of my health journey during that year because there wasn't any distractions. There was no clubs. There was no Denny's at 3 a.m. So for me, that was a really good year. And I was at my skinniest. I look back at photos and I'm like, damn, like my head is so much bigger than my body. I don't know if like proportions were correct, but that was my skinniest. I did feel good about it. I had dyed my hair. And I think that's what it was. I think when I dyed my hair gray, I felt the best. I had never received so many compliments, and granted, like half of my face was covered because of masks. I feel like not everybody got to see me in that era because we were all in lockdown.
Right.
But I personally felt really good during that time. And I go through bouts now. Sometimes I think it depends on my outfit. I really do. I think if I have a really great outfit on, I feel good no matter what my size is. So yeah, I would say 2020 is probably my peak.
You look good at emo night. I forgot. I don't know if I told you or not, but I feel like you look great at emo night when we were in Dallas.
Thank you. What did I wear emo night?
Yeah.
For those trips, I try to plan the outfits too.
I'd say this right here. I was like, okay, Kelvin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's a
was-
good
I remember
one.
when you posted, I was like, okay, Kelvin, Romare
Mhm.
Kelvin.
I was going through a little rocker era with the chain, black on
Yes.
black. I was feeling myself.
And
yeah.
I don't know why when guys do that pose, like I'm always like, okay, because I feel like I could not pull that like
No.
squatted down with like the leg slightly ajar with your arm on one thigh. Like I could not pull that off. So when people do it, I'm
And
like,
it looks so casual, but you probably really worked to get it the
I
right
was like,
way.
my knees. I probably was. Yeah, that was a time. Thanks.
Oh man,
Mhm.
yeah, that was good.
Holly, what about you? What's your moment?
I don't know. I have a lot that I like. There is some real high highs and some real low lows. And one of my I noticed this because I usually feel good about myself. What I didn't was in the pandemic when I got onto that diet.
Mm.
But anyway, aside from that, like I usually feel good about myself, but I know when my face is in rough mode. And I noticed this when I was posting a little happy birthday Facebook message to my friend Erin, to my best friend, one of my best friends.
Mhm.
And so on Facebook, we joke with each other that we're a bunch of one take Sallys. Like
Mm.
the two of us usually only ever need one quick selfie together and of the event that we're doing, and then it's great. And that one picture is like, boom, look at us. We're so good. We're so good at this. So I found a collection of like selfies of me and her, and then I just threw them on the Facebook, and then you go back and look at your own post. You're
Oh,
like,
absolutely. You're
let me
like, let
see
me
what
just
I
roll
just did.
through.
And I was like, oh, Jesus God. Like, oh, God. There are some really bad photos in there. Like 2015 was a terrible face year. Some people have bad body. I have bad face eras. Like
Mm.
I was going through the divorce, some other stuff, and it was all it came out in my face. Like what my acne, like hormonal, like deep, big old cystic acne was so bad. It was painful. And I could just see the makeup caked on so that you couldn't see the redness, but like it just looked like as Miguel says, a whodunit. Like it was so bad. And like the grooves and the lines were deeper in my face. I just looked like I had been rode hard and put away wet. Like, but I saw that and I'm like, oh God, I remember living through that era. And then thanks to like Accutane, which I've been on like 8 times in my life now, maybe 10. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be. But like thanks to that, that's the only medicine that actually fixes my face. And so I can tell when I'm having like a really great face time. I've probably just finished a round of Accutane, which is a really strong internal medication. And my face, it just looks like glowing. It just looks so smooth and bliss. And then like there's sometimes when it's like, oof, just looking rough. Off the top of my head, like I said, it ebbs and flows. I can't think of like one specific time that was the best. Just times when I've finished or been on Accutane are the best times that I look. And I remember I look good then. That's about when I was on some Accutane. It was my picture of my 40th birthday in front of the Mexican restaurant we went to.
Yeah, to me, this is like peak Holly, just living and basking in joy.
Yeah, I use that photo for a lot of different things because it's actually one of my favorites. Good call on pulling that one up.
Yeah, that's the one where you're holding up the 4 and the O, and you are just. And I also believe that was the time when you and I had just like. That's when we sat down on your birthday and did our pros and cons on if we were leaving or not. As we were celebrating your birthday.
We did. We're like with a group of people, Miguel and I, because it was which is weird. What was that? 2021?
Yeah.
What a stressful time. But I still looked good, which is weird. I was still coming off the Accutane though. I was on Accutane from, I want to say maybe mid-pandemic, and that dermatologist was like, we're not playing around with this. We're going to give you a low to moderate dose for a year. Like you're only supposed to have it for 3 to 4 month spurts, or like a high dose for 3 to 4 months. I had been on it for a year low dose from like mid 2020 through like mid 2021. And so I was riding that high, even though my life was stressful. And I was just so excited because you know what? I hadn't had a birthday celebration in a really long time. That was the first one in years that we had done anything for my birthday. And I was excited about just doing that, going out.
There we go. So fuck the haters. There we go. That part.
Okay.
Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Thanks to spinmastergames.com if you want more information on how to play Would You Rather.
Or get the games.
Absolutely. Get the games, Would You Rather. They have several games that we'll be playing. So thanks to spinmastergames.com if you would like to purchase one yourself.
Yes.
Fun.
Now, here's the thing. You have to play this in person. And since all 3 of us are in 3 different studios, we can't play the game like how it's normally played. Because I went through all the instructions.
Per the instructions?
Yeah.
Because I am a directions person.
You are. Because normally I would just shove this in Holly's way and say, Holly, tell us how to play this on the air.
Explain it 3 times.
Exactly. Because I never know. But I sat down. I actually had to turn y'all off because y'all were talking. And I was like, I have to focus on this. And I got it. And it's actually really fun because the premise of their Would You Rather is guessing on if what the person is saying is true. And you're trying to fake out the other people on if that's how you think they would answer the Would You Rather question. So that's what makes this interesting, is that you're trying to see what the person who has the turn, if that's how they would actually guess that Would You Rather.
And you're supposed to be like reading body language cues and stuff.
Yeah. And also it's just about knowing the people as well and knowing if that's what if that's what you think they would say.
Got it.
So we're gonna play our own little version of this Would You Rather by Spin Masters.
But I think it's good because it shows like you can actually. It doesn't necessarily. It has its instructions and it should be played a certain way. But also, you can probably play it if you need to, however you want to.
Absolutely. And so what we're gonna do for this version of it, so on this, they have a little spin wheel right here, and they have different categories of Would You Rather.
Okay.
So they have like love, it goes deep, cursed, visual, or epic Would You Rathers.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're just gonna spin it for each time to see which one we're gonna get. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna pull it up here and we're gonna
Yep.
spin it.
Oh, no, oh,
So there's a little. It's fine.
just
some
spin
things
it,
right here.
Lane.
Yeah.
Spin it
Epic.
horizontally, and then okay.
Epic. Okay.
Epic. All right. Here we go. Would you rather have your wallet stolen while traveling or lose your passport in a foreign country? So would you rather have your wallet stolen while traveling or lose your passport in a foreign country? I'd rather lose my wallet.
I would have rather had the wallet stolen.
Yeah.
Wallet stolen because although I'm assuming you still have your passport if your wallet is stolen.
Yes.
That would be the same question. At least you could have proof of identity, and then you could cancel credit cards and do whatever and whatever. But you get your you lose your passport in a different country. I don't even know what you do. Cry.
You'd probably
You
be there much longer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You sit somewhere and cry. That's what I would
Because
do.
at least, I mean, I know for me, like we're at that age where we have like several credit cards. So like when we do travel, I don't take everything with me. I do leave stuff back.
Yeah.
So like if someone stole a credit card, then I'm like, all right, cool. I can cancel it. And then we have a backup one that we can use, while we're traveling. But your passport, what the hell we gonna do?
Where's that from, by the way?
What the hell we gonna do?
It is
Now.
from
Miss Juicy Baby.
Yes.
Little Big People,
mhm.
I think. Little Big People Atlanta.
Okay, never mind. I got it. I understood. I understood the reference. I was just like, oh man, that is hitting me right today, but I don't remember. I know.
It's a great show.
It's always just a fun scene to pull up if you haven't seen it before. Here we go.
What the hell we gonna do now?
That's it.
That's it.
That is just my favorite.
That's-
What the hell we gonna do now?
It's literally me and Miguel on a daily.
Literally, I just feel like that's most of my life. Kelvin, so what would you do, or what would you rather?
The same thing. I would
Mm.
rather be on vacation, lose my wallet. Don't get me wrong. I could fake it and tell you, yes, I'd rather be in Europe, lost and stranded. But no, I would have an anxiety attack,
Mhm.
panic attack. I would not know what to do. I mean, yes, I could stay for a few more days, but that would be more difficult to get a passport expedited. Like,
There is a friend of mine here in Charlotte that said that he is planning on backpacking through Europe for like 6 months. And I'm not sure if it's still happening because it's been a couple of months since we last spoke. But I said that if he does it, I want to follow him on the podcast because I'm like, because he's in his late 20s, I believe.
Well, you can do anything in your 20s.
But he's
Not
like
that you
late
can't,
20s. Like,
No, still, you can still do it.
I'm like, but I was trying not to be like, not encouraging. And I was like, because my first reaction was like, bitch, what the heck? That is so incredible
Do
and
it.
brave.
yes.
So brave.
It's
All
like,
right.
who's gonna take care of my dog if I'm in Europe?
There's a lot. I
Like,
have a
it's
lot of
just a
questions.
lot.
Like
Too
just
much.
traveling in general. Anyway.
All right. Here is the next category is XOXO.
Oh.
Would you rather date someone who takes a long time to get ready or someone who never puts any effort into how they look? And you watching can answer. Would you rather date someone who takes a long time to get ready or someone who never puts any effort into how they look?
100% of the time, all the time.
Mm.
Take your time. You know what? I'll get a snack. Take your time. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't care about themselves because they don't just care about like if they don't care how they look ever, that's going to trickle into other aspects of life. They're not going to care what the house looks like. They're not going to care what you look like if you put in any effort. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be like dressed up to the nines and anything has to be expensive. Nothing. Just put a little care into yourself.
This is a deeper question too, because there have been situations where my fiance Oscar he doesn't take forever, he doesn't, but there are times where I'm like, hey, we are running behind, I need you to hurry up out of the shower, turn off that podcast, come on, let's go, and we'll arrive late. And honestly, 9.9 times out of 10 it's fine, but I don't like to be late. And then on the other hand, there are times when I dress, and it's not that I don't care about how I look. I honestly just don't know how to mix and match clothes. I don't know the right colors. I don't know the right shape for my body. I really don't. I just try to dress myself as best as I can in the amount of time that I have. And so that may come off like, well, I may not care about how I look. Oscar definitely is the better dresser, top down, like hands down. So that question, I felt like I saw myself and I saw a little bit of Oscar in that question.
I can see that.
I wouldn't put you in that category though. I don't ever think you look like you don't care.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But maybe I'm just thinking maybe we have different ideas. But that's what I'm saying, like no, I don't think so. But if you're putting yourself in that category, maybe we have different ideas of what it looks like to not care. Because I think you always look like you've put thought in, and you're saying you sometimes don't feel like it.
Right.
But like I'm thinking of someone that doesn't put time in, literally looks sloppy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you never look sloppy to me. So maybe we have different ideas of what that means.
Right. Well, because the way that I saw that question was the person that takes too long getting ready constantly gets us late. And that irks me.
Right.
So, okay. So and well, that's personal to you. Yeah, I don't like being late either. I would be like, hey, guess what? It's time to get in the shower.
No, I think I know that.
With that with Maya too.
And that's how Abe feels about me, especially on the weekends. Cause like, for work, I'm always on time and I'm always just like, gotta be here early. But then on the weekends, I will take my sweet ass time. Unless it's like something very like if we have reservations to a movie or like someone's like, hey, we have reservations at 7 for my birthday dinner, then I'll be there. But if it's just like hey, we're throwing a Christmas party and doors open at 5, bitch, I'm gonna get there at 5:45 or 6:30. Like I'm gonna take my motherfucking time.
Serious.
30.
Yes. And so I know Abe is like, they said 6. We need to be there at 6:01 at the latest.
I cannot.
People love being on time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will be on time. I do not. If I'm like 5 minutes late, I start to get like anxiety in the car, and then I'm like probably reckless on the road because I'm like, go. So just really quick side tangent. My person is like the most casual. My fiance is like the most casual driver. And he also has like some attention issues. I don't know, whatever. And so he'll be like looking around and all the time at stoplights, it turns green. And he's just talking to me. He's like, well, what I was saying. And I'm like, hey, go. Like put your foot on the gas.
I get it.
Oh, I would not be able to handle that because I feel like I want an award for the person to touch their gas the quickest when the light turns green.
Especially if you're the first one, you have a responsibility to not be on your phone. You're the leader. You're the line leader. And you better take that seriously because there's nothing worse than you've got like a 5-second green turn arrow and the person up front is on their phone. I'm like, my gosh, you've let down the whole line. I'm not going to beep at you.
Right.
Unless it is egregious. But like, you know what
but when I do, because like especially if it's a left turn and that light turns green, I want everybody behind me to be like, wow, what a great job that guy did.
Just
like,
so you know, I'm also out here grading people, so someone noticed.
Thank you. I just want somebody behind me just to be like, that was well executed.
There was like a happy horn where you could be like do 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 or something. Show appreciation.
Every time it was just like,
I turned left at the right time.
You were excellent at turning. You were so good at turning. I'm so proud of you. You good bitch. Okay.
Got it.
Let's see. Let's go deep.
Oh, okay.
My fave.
Would you rather everyone in the world be kinder? Oh, that's not worth it.
Damn.
Oh, here we go.
All
Oh,
right.
no.
there we go.
Here we motherfucking go.
Not the bad words. I gotta send this audio.
Sorry. Well, don't send them the whole thing. It was a long thing, just the beginning where we set it up. Would you rather change the outcome of the last election or get to decide the outcome of the next election? Would you rather change the outcome of the last election? So that was 2020, Trump versus Biden,
Yeah.
or get to decide the outcome of the next election, which will be Trump or
versus
Biden.
What a stupid place
question.
in which we live in time. I would rather decide the next election.
And
That's
who are
all.
you deciding?
I mean, I have really good judgment. I'll decide fine for everyone, which is what everyone thinks, right? But no,
Right.
but I'm really good at this. At making, I'm really good at making right choices.
Ollie's really good, y'all.
I'm
She's
really good at just knowing things.
Just give her all the electoral votes.
Kelvin?
I think the question is silly because we have the same candidate. So for me, I guess I would decide the next one too.
But I will say, though, we don't officially know
We don't.
who the Republican nomination will be.
No, we sure don't.
It more than likely will be Trump, but who knows what could happen between now and November.
And if it's, I think we already kind of all know where our politics lie here, but like if
Yeah.
it's not Trump and it's if somehow the Republican Party pulls out some kind of great candidate,
Right.
great.
It could be Nikki Haley. She's
know.
actually polling a lot better than Ron DeSantis. So a lot of people are like, I mean, there have been some, I don't know how much y'all pay attention because this is like super in the weeds of
I
politics
do
right
not
now.
get in the weeds because I can't.
Well, right now, like a lot of big Republican donors are pulling money from Trump and giving it to Nikki Haley. Like they're surpassing DeSantis because he's just been a dumpster fire since he's gone national. And so they're now going towards Nikki Haley, which as a Democrat, I would be very concerned for Biden if Nikki Haley got in.
Right.
If it was Biden versus Nikki Haley, I would be very concerned as a Democrat.
I agree. No, 100%.
That's why I'm kind of hoping it's Trump because I feel like, I mean, and what Trump's people are trying to do right now, because like they don't have any more safeguards on his team for if he becomes president, it's gonna get real scary.
But you know what?
But you know what bothers me? It's like all these people that are like, Biden's not doing enough for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, not voting for him. And then I'm like, okay, well then, so you're going to vote for Trump if Trump's the person. And they're like, might as well. Like, we're just catapulting to a time in history where I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I agree.
I think there's nothing left to say about that.
No, because I'm just like, y'all, it's like they're wanting to. Okay, so let me just, because, I like to give you little snippets of politics because I digest a lot of it for you. And then I just give you little snippets here. Some of the people on Trump's team now, like they had the safeguards, like Mike Pence, who knew was a safeguard to make sure that the elections were free and fair.
Who knew Mike Pence?
Right. Well, people in Trump's orbit now, so you have a lot of government workers, the bureaucrats that are lifelong people that help keep the government running. They're not for Republicans. They're not for Democrats. They're just there to keep the government running when it comes to taxes or Medicare, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump's people, when they get into office, they want to make those basically like temporary jobs where the president gets more authority over those jobs that keep the government running. So it's very more partisan. So like the Justice Department is supposed to be different from the president. They're like, no. We want you to do our bidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's very scary for both sides. Both sides. Not one person should have that much power.
Well, it's
for both sides.
authoritarian. That sounds authoritarian to me.
That should be scary no matter who it is. That is scary. Okay, moving on.
Why you
times.
found
that question and you were like, here's the best question of all time. Like,
For real.
They're cards. I don't know. I'm not going through all of them. Okay. The other one was, Would you rather everyone in the world be kinder and more compassionate or more intelligent?
Ooh.
This is an interesting question because I feel like
It is an interesting. It's a good question, actually.
Would
is a
you
good
rather
question.
everyone in the world be kinder and more compassionate or more intelligent?
kinder and compassionate. I was wondering if more intelligent people are by nature compassionate because they know more about the human condition, but that doesn't take into account like the narcissistic leaning people who are very smart and cunning and use their intelligence for bad.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll just take a bunch of dumb nice people
Oh,
all day every day.
Dumb, nice people. Damn,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of negatives that can come from that.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think that's the one thing we need more of because there's always going to be smart people and not so smart people.
Mhm.
And I'd rather have them be nicer and as a whole than smarter. Because I don't know if you've got a whole bunch of highly intelligent people running around that some people are using that intelligence for
Right.
malevolence doesn't seem great.
I thought to myself, like, what if you're at a 4-way and you you don't know the casual or the actual rules of like who has the right of way, and
Yeah.
because you want to be kind and compassionate,
You're doing the wrong thing.
You're doing the wrong thing, and there's just a bunch of car accidents. Like that's the first thing that I thought about. Like really kind drivers.
That's
That's
true.
interesting.
Well,
That
that's
happening.
right because they're negatives to both sides.
Right.
Yes.
But I think with that's a little more tamer. Whereas, like, when you have really intelligent people who Vladimir Putin, who believe that they are right and that everything they think that they are the smartest person in the world and that everything that they do is right because they're smarter than everyone else, you get what's happened over the past few years.
That's
with
what I'm
that.
saying.
Mhm.
Like there are really like everyone like that's great. Have a lot of smart people, and I was wondering, like I said, like would you be more empathetic if you were smarter to learn about the human condition? But clearly, we've seen that's not the case.
Would you rather live in the zombie apocalypse or live in the robot apocalypse?
Oof.
These are the good questions that I'm here for. I am here for these hard hitting questions. Thank
Would you rather live in the zombie apocalypse or live in the robot apocalypse? So let's qualify this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The zombies. Are we talking about the Last of Us zombies or the Walking Dead zombies or the World War Z zombies?
That run real fast.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I want to say, just to me, I feel like your classic zombie would be like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so too.
You can at least, there's some hope. I mean,
Right.
it's very hopeless, but there's just a little
Both
bit
are
of hope.
hopeless.
Right.
But okay, so basically, if we're talking pop culture, we are comparing The Walking Dead to The Matrix.
Yes. Yes.
Would you rather? That's
Yeah.
basically the
Which
question.
movie would you rather live in? I'd say The Walking Dead because I feel like at least you can try to build, like you can outsmart them, and there's
Yes.
gonna be things that
Think so,
happen
yeah.
that you can't control, like when they crowd up together into the big mob
Yeah.
and they start, and you have defenses built and then they just come towards you. You got to fucking figure that out. But I feel
Yeah.
like with machines,
We are not the apex predator.
Right.
We
They're
cannot
smarter.
control how smart they get because it's infinite. And that's the problem, by the way, with all this AI stuff that we're building on. We're very Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park right now, right?
yes,
Like
yes.
we were so concerned with whether we could that we didn't stop to think whether we should. And I don't know that we should be doing this. But anyway, I agree with you. I think the odds are better for humanity in a zombie apocalypse as opposed to a robot apocalypse. And
Save
then
that.
I just saw you're welcome. That's why I love this question. And then I just saw Kissy Cat
Kissy Cat.
Chrissy Cat Craddock's comment, who said we're already in the zombie per se. People blindly following others without researching facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I thought,
It's
damn,
metaphorical.
you ain't wrong. Anyway.
Which would you survive longer in? because I don't know if I'd survive longer in a zombie apocalypse. I could play around with a robot and whatever.
Play
You
around
can-
with the
But
robot.
like, I just meant like I feel like I can maybe manipulate, or I don't know what. I could live that life a
the
little
robots
longer.
would be a bit benevolent, I think, at first, thinking Matrix wise or whatever, or even like, I don't know.
Like I could befriend, a robot. I feel.
You think you'd befriend a robot, but
I
then at the end of the
guess.
day, every one of those movies that you ever see about robots is like ultimately they decide, and this even goes back to like Avengers 2, Rise of Ultron or Age of Ultron or whatever.
Mhm.
Ultimately, I feel like the robots decide that mankind is a danger to itself and we
Right.
gotta go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Which ain't wrong.
Anyway,
I can't kill zombies, and I'm worried about food, so I'm gonna live with the robots. Sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
so
I
Kevin
always-
chooses the robots.
I would do zombies, but I always do feel like when I watch The Walking Dead that like
I'm hungry.
we can't get no more hamburgers.
No
like,
nachos.
Also, like, where my prescription
nothing.
medications coming from? Like, and then you have to like kill your partner who's not gonna live.
Right.
Butter.
See, at least I
Maybe
got
robots
Abe
are
though. He can
better.
like build shit. Like we can build a city, and I
That
just
would be you're lucky because you
No.
have a helper. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna have to shoot my poor fiance. Like, to hold us back.
Oh no.
I know. I'd really try to drag him along for as long as I could, but like
He got distracted.
at
He got
some
bit.
point, like he's not gonna have any kind of medications or like his daily running or like his smoothie. He's very
I
pampered.
mean, he
and so I
can
just-
run. He can get lots
No,
of
he don't
running
have
in.
to run. But then he's gonna have like one mood swing, and then he's gonna just be off on his mood swing. I'll be like, you know what? This is it. This is the end. Do you want me to kill you or no? Like, get your shit together. We'll see if he does, but then
And
I'll
he
have to
won't.
see.
All right, let's do one more and then we're done. Let's see here. Let's end with a silly one.
Okay.
I love a silly one.
Here's a silly one. Would you rather have a head the size of an apple or the head the size of a watermelon?
Watermelon.
That was my nickname in elementary school. Watermelon head.
So was mine.
I had the coconut hair.
Oh, Kelvin, we had the same. My brother used to call me. They'd be like, "Oh, watermelon head ass."
Yep.
No. I want that. Good God. No.
I love the photos. Yes, I love the photos.
Oh my God.
See, but that looks like my head. So
I would decorate the shit out of that watermelon. Yeah, adorned with all kinds of jewels and gems. No,
Oh
I don't
my
want
gosh.
some little bitty apple head.
No, like fucking Beetlejuice, that
That's what
man
I was
on there.
thinking of too. I was like, Beetlejuice, no.
Well, thank you so much to spinmastergames.com. Would you rather? You can go to their website, buy this game and more, and we'll be playing this on Wednesdays as we do the podcast. So hit up spinmastergames.com.
how do you want to give it away?
Oh, that's right. We have one to
Yeah.
give away.
Oh, we have a
Mhm.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's do it. By the way, we never heard from What's Her Face for the $50.
Which is
What?
mind blowing.
That's wild.
Right.
Maybe we should just have a team dinner. In
No,
her honor.
we maybe one day she'll hear it and she'll message us.
Maybe.
Does it stand in perpetuity?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't because it's time shifted.
You just never know.
You just never know. Let's do what we did for the $50. Like the 20th person. Let's do the 30th person that texts us. Would you rather? So text hits and then would you rather to 96893, and then the 30th person that sends it will get one of the games.
Perfect.
Okay,
That sounds good.
perfect. Producer Kelvin, what's your information? People can find you on social media.
At Kelvin Live, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Send those requests.
Holly.
Radio Holly on the things. You can go check out some of my good photos, not so good photos. Oh, watermelon head ass, all the things.
Mhm. You can find me at Miguel Fuller on Instagram, TikTok, Be Real, Peloton. If you're on there, I'd love to do a ride with you. Until Friday, we will see you then. Bye.
Miguel and Holly